Right, before we get stuck into this absolute powder keg of royal drama, hit that subscribe button and smash the notifications bell because UK Informate is serving up the tea you absolutely cannot miss. Trust me, you'll want front row seats for this one. So, imagine you're Prince William. You've got a country to prepare for, a wife recovering from surgery, 3 kids to wrangle, and you're trying to modernize the monarchy while keeping the whole institution from imploding. Then your Uncle Andrew. Yes, that uncle, the one who's already dragged the family name through every tabloid on planet Earth, refuses to budge from his 30-room mansion despite paying basically nothing in rent for 2 decades. What do you do? Well, according to Emily Maitlis, the journalist who absolutely grilled Andrew in that car crash Newsnight interview back in 2019, William allegedly threatened to strip Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie of their titles unless they convince their father to pack up and leave Royal Lodge. I mean, talk about playing hardball with your own cousins. Now, before we spiral into complete chaos, Kensington Palace has come out swinging, saying this meeting never happened. Sources insist Maitlis got it completely wrong, that William never had this conversation, and that, frankly, it is not even his decision to make. But here's the thing. Whether the meeting happened or not, the mere suggestion that such pressure tactic were even considered tells us everything about how desperate the situation has become. Royal Lodge has turned into the family's most embarrassing standoff, and everyone's patience is wearing thinner than the king's hair. Let us talk about Royal Lodge itself for a moment, shall we? This is not some quaint cottage with roses round the door. This is a 30-room Georgian mansion on the Windsor estate that Andrew has occupied since 2008, paying what the lease charmingly describes as 1 peppercorn if demanded annually. Yes, you heard that correctly. Peppercorn rent. Meanwhile, he has spent £7.5 million on renovations, though where that money came from remains a spectacular mystery considering his financial history reads like a cautionary tale about living beyond your means. Andrew still has 50 years left on his prepaid lease, so the legal complications of evicting him are about as messy as his reputation. But here's where things get properly complicated. Sarah Ferguson, Andrew's ex-wife who somehow never quite managed to X herself from his life, has been living there too. They divorced nearly 30 years ago but have maintained this bizarre arrangement where they essentially play house without the marriage certificate. Fergie famously called them the happiest divorced couple in the world, which always sounded like someone protesting a bit too much, if you ask me. Now, with everything crashing down around them, sources claim she feels she has nowhere to go and no one to go with, which is simultaneously tragic and utterly baffling considering she is a duchess, albeit a former one, with presumably more resources than your average person facing eviction. Now here is where the plot thickens like royal gravy. According to reports, Andrew and Fergie have allegedly demanded not 1 but 2 separate homes if they are forced out of Royal Lodge. Andrew supposedly wants Frogmore Cottage. Yes, Harry and Meghan's old digs, while Fergie has her eye on Adelaide Cottage, which William and Catherine are vacating next month. The sheer audacity of demanding 2 taxpayer-funded properties after being essentially freeloaders for years is genuinely breathtaking. It takes a special kind of entitlement to negotiate your eviction by asking for double the accommodation. Sources close to the couple have pushed back furiously, insisting they never demanded anything and that the 2-home option was actually suggested by the other side months ago. But Buckingham Palace sources say they simply do not recognize this version of events, which is palace speak for, that is complete nonsense. So who is telling the truth? Honestly, at this point, does it even matter? The whole situation has descended into such farcical territory that it reads like a rejected script from the Crown's comedy spin-off. But wait, there is more deliciousness to unpack. Emily Maitlis revealed on the Newsagent's podcast that journalists were tipped off by the palace last week about possible passing traffic outside Royal Lodge. Apparently, King Charles, fresh from his Vatican trip and audience with the Pope, was supposedly going to swing by Royal Lodge to read Andrew the Riot Act. The plan was for cameras to catch Charles's car heading to the mansion, not the actual conversation. Mind you, just the symbolic image of the king showing up to lay down the law. But then the palace allegedly bottled it. When they saw the media helicopters circling like vultures over a carcass, they panicked, cancelled the whole thing, and Charles just went straight home. Imagine organizing your own brother's public humiliation and then getting cold feet because too many people showed up to watch. You genuinely cannot make this up. Throughout all of this, there is genuine concern about what Sarah might do if pushed too far. She has already written a memoir in 96 and an autobiography in 2011, and palace insiders are reportedly terrified of another tell-all book. One source explicitly mentioned not wanting another spare, referring to Harry's vitriolic memoir that torched half the family in 2023. The king may be kind, but even his patience has limits, and the last thing he needs is Eugenie spilling decades of secrets because she is angry about losing her cushy living arrangement. Adding fuel to this dumpster fire, recently published emails show Eugenie groveling to Jeffrey Epstein, apologizing for publicly distancing herself after his child sex conviction in 2008. She apparently repeatedly begged the billionaire pedophile for money to cover her debts. Her friends say she is absolutely bereft, completely on the edge, and hugely embarrassed by the scandal. Her business interests, including several new books, are reportedly tanking because nobody wants to be associated with her anymore. It is a spectacular fall from grace, even by royal standards. And now, in possibly the most surreal twist yet, there are plans for MPs to debate Andrew's lifestyle and living arrangements in the House of Commons. Parliament might actually take time out of running the country to publicly discuss why this disgraced prince is still living rent-free in a palace. The humiliation would be absolutely nuclear. So where does this leave us? Andrew and Eugenie are allegedly finally agreeing to move out, but negotiations are ongoing about where exactly they will land and whether they will be together or finally, after 30 years of playing divorce but not really, actually live separately. The king wants them gone. William apparently wants them gone badly enough that rumors swirl about threats to his cousin's titles. The public definitely wants them gone. And yet somehow, this saga continues to drag on like the world's poshest eviction notice. Thanks ever so much for watching, everyone. We will catch you in the next one.